In the shadows of the apostolic palace, mere moments after his election, the new pope is led to a candlelit room few have ever entered. A trembling cardinal approaches, clutching an ancient wooden box sealed with wax-bearing symbols older than Christianity itself. "Holy Father," he whispers, placing it in the pontiff's hands, "never let this leave your sight." The Pope's face pales as he lifts the lid. This was no ordinary gift. It could bring down the church itself. The object inside pulses with a faint blue light, illuminating the fear in the cardinal's eyes. "There have been attempts to steal it before," the cardinal continues, his voice barely audible. "3 men died protecting it during the last conclave. What they didn't tell him in conclave would haunt him forever. What power does this item hold? And why are some willing to kill for it?"
Before we delve in deeper, please take 5 seconds to like this video and subscribe to our channel to stay updated on similar videos. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Back to our discussion.
First item, the pallium. The pallium, a simple wool band worn around the shoulders, made from the wool of lambs blessed on the feast of St. Agnes. It's stored in a special case near St. Peter's tomb until needed. Every January 21st, 2 lambs are blessed at the Basilica of St. Agnes. Their wool is shorn at Easter and woven into palliums by the nuns of Santa Cecilia in Trastevere, a tradition unchanged for centuries. The finished pallium is stored overnight in a silver box placed directly above the tomb of St. Peter in the Vatican crypt, absorbing the sanctity of the first pope. It's circular in design with 2 vertical bands, one falling down the chest, one down the back, making a Y shape that represents the Good Shepherd carrying a sheep on his shoulders. It's pinned with 3 golden spikes representing the nails of the crucifixion. The pallium symbolizes the Pope's role as shepherd of the church, explains Dr. Maria Rossi, professor of ecclesiastical history. Its placement on the shoulders reminds us of Luke 15, where the shepherd carries the lost sheep home. But there's something they don't tell pilgrim tourists. The pallium isn't just blessed, it's embedded with something. Vatican records from 1274 refer to a relic of the true voice that must be woven into each new pallium. The document was sealed in 1586 by Pope Sixtus V and hasn't been opened since. Sounds cozy, right? Until you learn what's buried beneath it. Why must it spend a night in the crypt beside the bones of the first pope? And why is it burned when a pope dies? What are they destroying or releasing? Later in this video, I'll show you recently uncovered evidence that the pallium contains fragments of an ancient text, one that the Church has sought to suppress for 2 millennia. But first, let's move to the second item, which hides an even darker secret. Second item, the ring of the fisherman. The ring of the fisherman, gold emblazoned with an image of St. Peter casting his net. For centuries, it sealed papal documents and was smashed with a silver hammer when a pope died. Every pope since the 13th century has received a unique ring of the fisherman, designed specifically for him. Once placed on his finger during the inauguration ceremony, it becomes one of the most recognized symbols of papal authority. Each ring is cast in gold, explains Antonio Barberini, whose family has crafted papal jewelry for generations. The design always shows St. Peter in his boat, casting a net, a reminder that the first pope was a fisherman, called to be a fisher of men. For centuries, the ring's primary purpose was practical. It served as the Pope's personal seal, pressing into hot wax to authenticate papal bulls and documents. Each document, sealed with the ring, carried the full weight of papal authority. But the ring's true significance goes deeper than anyone realizes. In 1527, during the sack of Rome, it saved Pope Clement VII from capture. Or did it? The Swiss guards who died protecting him reported that he escaped through a secret passage after activating the ring. The Vatican archives mention a substitute ring used as a decoy. But what happened to the real one? In 2008, art restorers working on a 16th century painting in the Vatican discovered something extraordinary, what appeared to be a schematic hidden in the background. When enhanced, it showed the interior mechanism of what experts believe was the true ring of the fisherman. But what happens if it falls into the wrong hands? In 1958, a break-in at the Vatican targeted the room where papal rings are stored. Nothing was reportedly taken, but security protocols were completely overhauled within days. The ring and the pallium aren't separate items, they're connected. In the next segment, I'll show you how they form part of a system that's been hiding in plain sight for centuries. But first, let's examine the third item, which might be the most dangerous of all. Third item, the papal ferula. The papal ferula is not a scepter of worldly power, but a staff topped with a crucifix. As St. John Paul II said, "The cross is our strength." But is it? Unlike a bishop's crozier with its curved top, the papal ferula is straight. They'll tell you it symbolizes direct authority from Christ. Yet the oldest Vatican records describe it differently, as a key rather than a staff. The ferula represents the Pope's role as universal pastor, explains Dr. Thomas Blackwood of Oxford University. But its unusual straight design has puzzled scholars for centuries. Every other pastoral staff in Catholic tradition curves at the top. The earliest depictions of popes show them holding keys, not staffs. The transition to the ferula happened gradually between the 4th and 7th centuries, coinciding with a period when several mysterious texts disappeared from church records. Vatican archives contain a curious document from 787 AD during the Second Council of Nicaea. It references the staff that measures the temporal and includes precise specifications for its construction down to the exact metals to be used in the alloy. Here's where it gets weird. 3 popes in history reported the crucifix turning upside down in their hands. Each died within a year. Pope Celestine V, who famously resigned the papacy in 1294, wrote in his private memoirs, "The staff revealed what was hidden. I cannot bear this knowledge." 5 months later, he died under mysterious circumstances. In 2019, during restoration work on John Paul II's ferula, technicians discovered something that wasn't included in any public reports, a hidden compartment containing what appeared to be an ancient measuring device. The specifications match exactly with astronomical calculations tools used to predict eclipses, tools that date back to the time of Christ. Why would a papal staff need to measure celestial movements? The answer connects to the fourth item, which holds perhaps the darkest secret of all. But there's something the Vatican doesn't include in official ceremonies, something older than the pallium, older than even the ring. Early church documents reference a sign of authority given to each successor of Peter. Its description matches none of the modern papal items. So what happened to it? Some scholars believe it was hidden in plain sight, disguised as one of the conventional items but containing secret knowledge. The 3 items we've seen share strange commonalities. Each contains hidden mechanisms, precise measurements, and astronomical alignments. They aren't separate objects, They're parts of a whole. Whatever the early church was protecting, the Vatican still guards it fiercely. Last month, a specialized security team conducted an unprecedented sweep of the papal apartments using equipment designed to detect specific radiation signatures. What are they looking for, and why now? Fourth item, the pectoral cross. The pectoral cross is a powerful reminder of Christ's sacrifice, worn close to the heart. In gold or silver, often adorned with precious stones, it appears simple, but holds the deepest secret of all. Every pope designs his own cross, reflecting his personal theology and background. Some are simple, others elaborate, but all contain specific elements that have remained consistent for centuries. The papal pectoral cross differs from those worn by bishops in subtle ways, explains Dr. Elena Vasquez, curator of religious artifacts at the Metropolitan Museum. The chain length is precisely standardized, and the corpus, the body of Christ, is always positioned in a specific way. When Pope Pius XIV died in 1958, photographers captured images of his personal items being prepared for burial. Enhanced analysis of these photos reveals something extraordinary. His pectoral cross contained what appears to be a small compartment. The truth? It wasn't just jewelry. It was a signal, and someone in the shadows knew exactly what it meant. Vatican financial records from 1473 contain a curious entry: payment to Maestro Lorenzo for the mechanism of the Holy Father's cross. Lorenzo was known as an expert in encryption devices, not jewelry. What they didn't tell the new pope was that someone was watching, waiting for him to receive these items, because one of them, hidden in plain sight, completed a pattern set in motion 2,000 years ago. In 1939, a team of archaeologists excavating near ancient Antioch discovered a fragment of parchment containing what appeared to be instructions. The text described how to use a cross-shaped object to decode hidden messages. The Vatican immediately seized the findings. During the inauguration of Pope Benedict XVI in 2005, scientists at the European Space Agency detected unusual electromagnetic signals emanating from St. Peter's Square. The source was never officially identified, but the pattern matches theoretical models for quantum entanglement communications. The cross doesn't work alone. It needs the final piece. The fifth item completes the set and activates the system that has been hiding in plain sight for millennia. Finally, the fifth item, the white cassock and zucchetto. The white cassock and zucchetto, symbols of purity and sacrifice. The world sees a humble uniform, but few know 3 identical sets are created immediately after election. The tradition of the white papal garments dates back to Pope St. Pius V, who continued wearing his Dominican white habit after being elected pope in 1566. Since then, white has become the distinctive color of the papacy. The fabric is specially woven, explains Gabriele Gamarelli, whose family has dressed popes for generations. The exact shade of white is precisely formulated, not pure white, but a specific ivory tone that appears differently under various lighting conditions. What appears to be a simple cassock contains over 33 specific measurements, a number with profound significance in Christian mysticism. Christ's age at crucifixion, the number of vertebrae in the human spine, and the number of wounds traditionally attributed to Jesus all share this number. One for public appearances, one for private use. But why is the third sealed away? And why must it be destroyed if ever removed from its chamber? A papal bull from 1618 establishes strict protocols for the third set of garments. It must be stored in a lead-lined case, inspected monthly by a specific cardinal, and destroy immediately if showing any signs of the change. In 2017, researchers using advanced imaging technology examined a fragment of papal garment from the 18th century. They discovered strange fibers woven into the fabric fibers that appeared to change structure when exposed to specific frequencies of light. Pope Leo XIII once wrote in his private diary, "The garment shows what cannot be seen. Heaven have mercy on the one who wears it unprepared." The entry was dated exactly 1 month before he had a famous vision of demonic forces attacking the church. The zucchetto, the small white skull cap, contains a hidden lining. Vatican protocols require it to be replaced every 3 months, regardless of condition. The old ones are burned in the same manner as a worn-out American flag. When combined with the other 4 items, the white garments complete a system, one that allows the Pope to access knowledge hidden from the rest of the world. But as we'll see next, this system has been compromised. The new Pope, fully vested in these sacred items, emerges onto the balcony of St. Peter's. The crowd erupts in joy. With these 5 symbols of authority, the transition is complete. The Church stands united, its future secured under new leadership. For 2,000 years, this system has protected the Church's most sacred knowledge. The 5 items, working in harmony, ensure that each Pope can access the wisdom of his predecessors while safeguarding it from those who would misuse it. The continuity is preserved. The tradition endures. All is well until it isn't, because someone else knows the system, and they're not bound by faith. They're watching, waiting, collecting. And when all 5 fall into the wrong hands, it won't just be the papacy that crumbles, it will be the very soul of the Church. Subscribe to Holy History and be the first to uncover the truth behind the most powerful secrets the Vatican has ever kept hidden.